Hi, everyone. It's Rebecca Imholtz with the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. I hope you're doing well and looking forward to this special week of Thanksgiving. I want to welcome now Shane Griffin as we begin our weekly webinar, Monday with the Mayor. Shane is our president of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. So nice to see you today, Shane.
Hey, Rebecca, thank you very much. Always good to see you. Thanks for your efforts in helping us put together Mondays with the Mayor. This has been fun for me, an opportunity to meet with the Mayor and also with Lauren to talk about topics that affect the Mount Pleasant area, not only in regards to the virus itself, but also its economic impact. So always great to see you, Rebecca. Thanks for all that you do for the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. We greatly appreciate your efforts. You're one of the hardest working ladies in town, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. My pleasure. And I look forward to this conversation. We always have a lot to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. A reminder before we bring on Mr. Mayor and Lauren, in-person luncheon happening on December the 2nd. So if you have not registered, visit mountpleasantchamber.org to do that. It will be in person. We have been kind of going into the shallow end when it comes to in-person events. We started out with a coffee a couple of weeks ago, had a happy hour a week or so after that. And now we're going to be doing our luncheon in December in person over at the Omar. So we'll have plenty of space. There will be limited space available. So if you'd like to be a part of that, be sure to register mountpleasantchamber.org. We've got lunch taken care of, COVID protocols in place. We will be recognizing our executive officers and committee chairs from this year and also electing our new officers for 2021. So going to be a fun-filled, packed luncheon. Joe Clark is going to be there playing some music. So we are really looking forward to being back in person, and we hope that you will be a part of it. So be sure to visit mountpleasantchamber.org. With that being said, I'll welcome on the Honorable Will Haynie, our mayor, and Lauren Sims from the town of Mount Pleasant. Hey, you two, good to see you both.
Hey.
Afternoon.
I hope that both of you had a great weekend, and I know you're both looking forward to Thanksgiving. I've said it before, this has been one of the fastest years I can remember, but the days seem to drag on. So it's just kind of odd how things have kind of worked out in this year of COVID. But I personally wish you both a very happy Thanksgiving. I know you're going to be spending it with the folks that mean the most to you, being safe in doing that as well. And Mr. Mayor, I wanted to tie in, being thankful in the season of Thanksgiving with a very special initiative that you've put together that's going to impact people in our local community. I'll let you talk a little bit about that, sir.
Sure. First of all, I wouldn't say that I've put it together. I was part of the conversation and just got on the phone and we started talking about ways to really spread Christmas cheer and be a blessing to our community in this craziest, most trying of all years. And, it doesn't seem to let up. I mean, just Friday, Oceanside Collegiate, our last high school team that was still in the playoffs, had to forfeit a game because of this dadgum virus. And they, as we know, are a football powerhouse. So we will be putting out a press release tomorrow. And this is not a town of Mount Pleasant thing. Lauren is involved in her role as being on the board of the Chamber of Commerce, but this is a community thing. And I just wanted to be kind of, a go-between. But we're calling it Operation COVID Christmas, Super Spreading Joy. And what we decided was there are 3 target demographic groups that have, I won't say been overlooked, but have nothing special geared towards them for the holidays. One is our frontline healthcare workers, mainly at our 2 large hospitals, Roper Mount Pleasant and East Cooper Medical Center. The other is our isolated elderly, primarily at our retirement communities, but many who are at home, and they're served by Meals on Wheels, who is part of this conglomerate. And the other is our hospitality workers, some who have been laid off, some who are still working, but we know that the restaurant and hotel revenues and business are not what they have been. And so by getting on the phone with people like Shane and the folks at Meals on Wheels and East Cooper Community Outreach and the 2 hospitals, and I might be forgetting some groups. Now we've got the Red Cross involved. And if I leave anybody out, I'm sorry, but we do have the chamber involved. What we're doing is we're doing a few things. First is we are taking Christmas caroling. Oh, Feed the Need. How can I forget? Mickey Bass, Feed the Need came in a big way. So what we're going to do, we're going to start on December the 6th with a drive-by for good at Patriots Point. And you will stay in your car. All of this is COVID safe, no large groups, nothing like that. They will have their tents set up, and they will be putting out what you can bring to help with what they are doing. The Red Cross is having a blood drive. So if you want to bring blood, you can go do that. They'll have the blood mobile there. But Meals on Wheels will have their tent. East Cooper Community Outreach will have their tent. We're working on some others. I think Shifa Clinic is doing a coat and gloves thing for children. Is it Winwood Farms? I think there's several groups involved, and there will be more who we're announcing. You stay in your car and you go through and you drop off. Someone will come to your car and get the items that you're donating. And when you come out, Mickey Bass group called Feed the Need is going to be giving away 1,000 free meals, 1,000 meals on that day. And in between, we're going to have groups of Christmas carolers. And if you're interested in participating, it doesn't matter if you're a church group, a civic club, or just you and some neighbors. If you would like to be one of the groups caroling at that would be fantastic. We envision having a tent for donations. You drive past it, and then you get Christmas carols. And then there's another tent, and then more Christmas carols. You get your meal on the way out, and it'll be a fun time. And then the next thing we're doing is at Roper, and these dates have changed, Shane, since you and I last spoke. On Friday the 11th, Roper St. Francis, and on Monday the 14th is going to be at East Cooper Community Hospital. And we're going to have carolers there, and Mickey Bass, again, Feed the Need, is going to feed all of their staff a free meal. It's all paid for, so they'll get a meal. They'll be shown by our community that we appreciate that they have saved lives in this community. Those are not public events because we don't want to go over that 250 person threshold, and the hospitals will stage, because it'll last like 2 or 3 hours, the number of workers that go out, pick up their meal. This is not a buffet. There's no buffets in the COVID reality. But here's where everybody can really help. We need carolers for Saturday, the 12th, and Sunday, the 13th. We have someone coordinating for all of our retirement communities to have groups of carolers come by that afternoon and into the evening, because our senior citizens in retirement communities have been isolated away virtually for 7 months. I know there's some visitation, but they have really been isolated from this. We want to show that our Mount Pleasant community loves and cares for everybody, and we're going to send caroling groups out to go to those. If you want to do a group, please send us an email. Shane, if somebody gets in touch with me, if you'll relay it to me. And then the final arm of this is Meals on Wheels has opportunities on December 14th, 18th, 21st, and 23rd, where people socially distanced in different cars will follow their meal distributors and surprise their recipients with some Christmas carols. You only need 4 or 6 people, socially distanced, different cars, all of that. And that's on the 14th, the 18th, the 21st, and the 23rd. Meals on Wheels will coordinate that. And then the last part of all of this is an assistance fund for our hospitality workers. We think that there are parents who have children that they might have trouble making Christmas expenses for. It's going to be a relief fund. Lots of, I won't say who yet, but I can say $10,000 has already been donated to that. And look for the press release, because there'll be more news coming out about that. But if you're in the restaurant or hospitality business, we want you, and we'll announce who it is that's doing this. It'll come out tomorrow. We want you to approach them and say, I have a staff member who has this need, and there'll be some parameters that the group administering this is going to set up, but it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It could be an illness. It could be having 3 or 4 kids they need help making Christmas expenses for, buying new clothes for their family or something like that. Let us know that need, and we will, and this group will offer assistance. So I'm thrilled. It's a typical Mount Pleasant thing. You put an idea out there to serve other people, and Mount Pleasant people just I mean, that's already far beyond what the initial conversation was going to be, which was 2 Christmas caroling events. Now look at it.
That's awesome. And it's great to see the town of Mount Pleasant, the people of the town of Mount Pleasant and organizations from different parts of the community come together to really pull this off. And it's all for the betterment of the community, to show these segments of the population how much we care about them. And it's been a very tough road to hoe for them. And you know, this is an opportunity to say thanks. So to you, Mr. Mayor, thank you for coordinating this and help putting all this together. But it has been a coordinated team effort to pull this off. And it's just going to be something that the residents of Mount Pleasant should be very proud of. That's for sure.
And we will be putting out, we'll do it through the chamber and all these groups. We've got a Facebook strategy. You'll see all the events and the needs. There'll be a list for the Do Good drive-through on Sunday, December the 6th from noon to 3 of what you can give to the different nonprofits that are there. So I'm just giving you sort of a bird's eye view, but there will be some specifics.
Excellent. Well, Lauren, I'd like to bring you in because as we come into the end of the year, which, you know, again, the days are long, but the months and the weeks seem to scream by. But as we approach the end of the year, I know from a business standpoint, things have gone pretty well for the town of Mount Pleasant, and numbers are up. And I know we have a number of events coming up, so I'll kind of give it off to you and let you kind of cover a number of things that you've got on your agenda for today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. I can't believe we're coming up on the end of November here. It's just been a crazy and just unprecedented year. And so certainly something that we have paid extra attention to this year is our number of new businesses. We get those numbers on a monthly basis and we track them by a fiscal year, which at the town starts July 1. And so we've just gotten our numbers back through the end of October. And we're able to take a look, and our number of new businesses are actually up year over year for the past 3 years. And so that is definitely positive and exciting news. We've talked on here before about how just blown away I am that there are so many businesses opening in the midst of a pandemic here in Mount Pleasant. We just held a ribbon cutting for one last Friday off of Ben Sawyer Boulevard. And you know, we talked to them about, you know, the challenges of opening a storefront in the midst of a pandemic. And they thought, you know, this was the time to do it. And so far business has been great, and they're receiving a lot of foot traffic and coverage. And so it's definitely very exciting to hear that. Certainly coming up for the month of December, typically we have the committees of council meetings the first Monday of the month. However, the way that the calendar works this coming into December, we're actually going to be having December committees on November 30th. So next Monday will be a very busy day here at Town Hall. And we will be having an economic development committee meeting. That's where we discuss all of our business initiatives for the town. And so one very exciting thing that I'm looking forward to hearing more about is a presentation about the Medal of Honor Museum and Heritage Center. So we will be receiving an update on that, as well as an update on the CRDA's recently released regional scorecard, which kind of gives us economic data for the region as a whole, to see where we are over the past year and kind of establish some target points moving forward. So it's definitely something that we want to keep an eye on. We like to you know, focus our efforts here in Mount Pleasant specifically, but also realize that we're part of a larger regional strategic approach as well. So definitely something worth looking forward to. And then the last item on our Economic Development Committee agenda is just a recognition of some major economic development wins over the last year or so. Talking about some expansions, some new headquarters moving to Mount Pleasant. We've got a new hotel at Town Center, some just big wins that we're very excited about, and again, worthy of extra celebration, especially considering the year that we've had and you know, the economic reality that some businesses have faced. So it's just something worth celebrating and worth noting that even in the midst of a pandemic, Mount Pleasant is open for business, and we're very excited to share in the success that our business community has done thus far. So that's what we got coming up on Monday. Later on in the month, obviously we are continuing our efforts to support the Buy Local season and encouraging everyone in the town of Mount Pleasant to support the local businesses by pledging 10% of their holiday spending to spend at local businesses. A A big part of that is going to be Small Business Saturday that's coming up this Saturday. So just want to encourage all of our members to make sure that you have not just a physical presence for Small Business Saturday, but an online presence is absolutely critical. I can't stress that enough. People have got to be able to peruse products and services and purchase them directly online. So help us help you be successful this holiday season by making sure that, that we can purchase goods and services in an online capacity. And we would love to continue to celebrate your business and any others as we move through the month of December. And that leads us straight to our holiday market on December 12th. It's a Saturday at the Farmers Market Pavilion on Coleman Boulevard. It's something that we always look forward to. It's kind of a medley of our normal farmers market that happens during the spring and summer, and then a craft fair to support local artisans throughout the holiday season. So definitely come. All social distancing guidelines and safety protocols will be followed. So we encourage folks to come out for that. And then, of course, that's followed up by our annual holiday Christmas light parade on Sunday the 13th. So again, hope to see everybody out there socially distanced and safe, enjoying the holidays.
Awesome. Well, Lauren, thank you for all of that. Thank you for your efforts over at the town. We really appreciate everything that you do for us as a chamber as well, giving us information and helping to disseminate that information to our members. And it's always good to talk about the good news and the good things that are happening in the town of Mount Pleasant. I do want to bring on at this time Rebecca Imholtz. Rebecca, I understand we do have a question for the mayor. Is that right?
We do. Thank you so much, Shane. Mayor Haynie, one of our members submitted a question. Do you have an opinion or insight about the race for Isle of Palm City Council as well as the mayor's race and how it may affect the parking debate? One of the announced candidates for Isle of Palm's mayor, the platform sounds a lot like the island privatizing dialogue that's been ongoing.
Yeah, first of all, let me say, if you're not on Facebook, or if you can get to it, or even their Twitter accounts, there's a group or maybe two Facebook groups that have done a very good job of researching the issue. And during the general election, they got statements and they had a candidate guide for every incumbent or challenger to answer those questions, so you knew what you were getting when you voted for. So I want to defer to them to get that information, because they are a group that involves Isle of Palm, Sullivan's Island citizens, and Mount Pleasant citizens, plus others in the area. I am not going to weigh in on a neighboring municipality's election any more than our citizens would want them weighing in on ours. But let me say this, the best thing that has come of all this, besides the awareness and the public pressure, is the statement by Senator Larry Grooms, who represents part of Mount Pleasant and most of Berkeley County, not all of it. But he chairs the Senate Transportation Committee, and he's going to introduce a bill when the legislature comes back into session in January that is going to be aimed at directing South Carolina DOT, who owns those roads, to guarantee public parking out there. As someone in municipal government, I do understand and sympathize with the operational aspects that the island communities have, because if you look at the influx versus their population, it's like the town of Mount Pleasant putting on a Cooper River Bridge run every weekend from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That is not to be taken lightly from, public safety, trash, all that. We totally get that. And we want all of our citizens and all the ones at large around the area, whether you live in Mount Pleasant or not, to be considerate. Park where you're supposed to park and don't leave trash and all that type of stuff. So I think regionally we need to look at with the islands what the expense of that is, how to offset that expense. But I strongly support, and I'm glad that our legislative delegation supports, keeping that parking free and open, because those beaches are owned by all the citizens of the state of Mount Pleasant. There you go. The state of South Carolina, to include the residents of Mount Pleasant and all the surrounding community. That was a slip of the tongue.
Excellent. Anything else, Rebecca?
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks to that member for that question. We always give you the opportunity to ask questions of the mayor. All you need to do is send that question to Rebecca at mountpleasantchamber.org, Rebecca at mountpleasantchamber.org, and we will ask the mayor to answer that question on an upcoming episode of Mondays with the Mayor. Well, that's all I've got today. But Mr. Mayor, I understand you've got some thoughts, some final words as we wrap up this program and with Thanksgiving on the mind.
Thank you. I have just always loved Thanksgiving week. One is because growing up, we always went to my grandparents' house in the upstate. Shane, I know you have an upstate connection. And, whether it was when I lived in Mount Pleasant as a boy or when my family moved to Sumter a little bit later. Sorry, there's a phone ringing in the background. But we always just drove across the state, and it was always fun can somebody answer that? It was always fun to just travel the state and go somewhere. And I really enjoyed that. And so Thanksgiving is really one of my favorite weeks. And I think this is a great week to reflect. It doesn't have the cost and the hustle and bustle that Christmas has. Even though as a Christian, I observe Christmas, pretty faithfully. But it's just it's a relaxing time. You can reflect. And I'm just very thankful this year for a lot of things. And I just want to mention a couple of them. And this is not exhaustive, but this is apropos to this. One is, I'm very thankful for this, that the chamber reached out and gave me and also Lauren a chance to, during the most unprecedented, strangest year we could have had, to come and say, here's what it looks like from the local government perspective, primarily for business, but also for public health and all the things that this encompasses. So Rebecca and Shane, thank you all. Thank you for hand walking me through sometimes when I had problems with my Zoom and all of that. I don't know if the viewers know that we do a pre-show thing where we go over what we're going to talk about. There's some preparation and all. I'm very thankful for that. And it's kept me very connected with the Mount Pleasant business community through all this. I'm also thankful that our town has, for the most part, been spared the extremes of this pandemic. Yes, we know people have died. Yes, we know people who came close to death. And I have people that they call friends that they call long haulers. They're still dealing, even though they've recovered, they're dealing with residual things from this. I'm not diminishing any of that, but we have not had refrigerator trucks lined up in the town of Mount Pleasant to put bodies in from our hospitals. We have not had massive closures for months on end. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And I certainly hope it stays that way. I'm also thankful that back in late May and June, when there was civil unrest breaking out around and people were, boarded up in their homes and stuff, that because of the leadership of our police department and our police chief, Carl Ritchie, who was quick to spread all praise, that our police worked with people who wanted to protest and said, we will be with you and we will make sure your voice is heard, but it will be lawful and peaceful and there will be no disruption and no destruction. And as a mayor, I'm very, very, that's one of the biggest blessings I think we had this entire year, and we can all be thankful for that. And I'm thankful that in working with people to do Operation COVID Christmas, that I see the heart and soul of this town, that when you say, can we do something for good for Mount Pleasant and our surrounding communities, this community is so quick. If people just get on the phone and say, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. So that's my quick list. And I want everybody to enjoy Thanksgiving and tell your family you love them.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Mr. Mayor. It's always great to see you, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your service to our community. Lauren, it's great to see you as well. Thanks for all that you do at the town. And thank you for, all that you do for us here at the chamber to keep us on top of all the things that are happening when it comes to the business side of town. We thank you both for your time. This does take time to put on each and every week. And we're grateful to you that you take the time to go through the pre-show, the prep, and then we put this on. We do this all for the members. It's a connection to the members. And we're grateful again for your time for this. So as I always like to say, be safe, stay healthy, and keep moving forward. And as the mayor likes to say, I'll give it to you, Mayor. What do you like to say?
Stay positive and test negative.
All right. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.